Hi, I'm Schuyler. Now, I'm starting season 2, and I'm going to take the first episode, but all of these episodes are going to be very similar in that I ask 3 questions. Now, the way they're not the way they're dissimilar is everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has, let's say, a different description of what they do. Okay? So, this, I hope, is interesting because at this point in season 2, I'm just going to give the intro and the framework of how someone might answer the questions. Yeah. Okay. The 3 questions are: number 1, what does new music or experimental music mean to you? Okay. Number 2, how do you work? Number 3, can you show me or tell me a secret? I'm going to start with number 1. So the question is, what does new music or experimental music mean to you? For me personally, I think all of these names that we declare are ours are not very good, right? Because as you go on your new music path, that detracts you from, let's say, classical music, which can be very fulfilling. And it also kind of creates this barrier, right? Maybe the classical musicians call you new music. Well, they're not going to play your music because you've created this barrier. Okay? And let's say experimental music. Think about that. Experimental music, I would say that's a little bit closer, but if you take it literally, right? Think about doing experiments all the time, and because that's in the name. Now, me personally, I do a lot of experiments, but I'm not going to be experimenting all the way to the stage, right? So what is experimental? Okay. And then there's genres like noise music, right? Okay. So all of them have their flaws. Some of them have something interesting that you can take away from it. But when you label something, it's always going to be a flawed. That's my opinion, and you're going to have your own opinion, okay? All right. Number 2, how do you work? Well, that is also a secret, but I'm going to talk about my method, because I kind of blend my improvisation with composition. The way I start is I grab an instrument. Let's say it's even a trumpet. I'm not really like seasoned in the brass instruments, but what I'm thinking about is how can I produce a sound that is different than what a brass player produces. And that is an experiment. I might think, okay, well, I'm not gonna have the same embouchure, or I have the same embouchure but I hum right through it. That kind of like that. I mean, now you just have to see what hits. And sometimes you fail, but you just keep going. All right. Once I have that sound or the technique, I give it some kind of notation. Now, personally, I don't like notation because I think a lot of people are obsessed with new notation, and I think it's all music. It's all about the sound and the music. So I could write something a certain way. I can write something a different way, and what's best for me is to be specific. To produce that sound. You know, this is going a little bit long, but when you when you notate with like daggers and crossbows and skulls, like, people don't want to decipher everything. That's what I've discovered about myself, okay? You don't have that much time. It's like people are counting the minutes. All right? So, let's go on to number 3. Can you show me or tell me a secret? I will. Okay. Let's say you want to create a sound, and this is not going to be original, okay? But you can create sounds with your own body. You don't have to have any instruments. So if I sing a note, and put pressure, okay, I've created something different. That's multiphonic, coming out of my vocal cords and putting pressure on it. And there's a secret, if you didn't know that. Okay, now next time I will introduce another composer, improviser, noise musician, and thank you for watching my show, and stay tuned for the next episode.